Archangel Michael says. You felt it last night in the silence when everything went quiet for a moment, but still, you brushed it off like it was nothing. The clock stopped ticking for you spiritually, but you kept walking like the hour wasn't late. Someone called your name in the spirit, but you silenced it with the noise of your distractions. You've been warned in dreams, in sounds, in sudden feelings, in people's sudden exits, and through the pain that strikes without cause. Yet, you laugh it off, saying it's just your imagination or a phase that will pass. But this time, the phase isn't just passing, it's passing with purpose, and you are missing it. The signs have been surrounding you like whispers from another world trying to pierce your stubborn flesh. You ignored that flickering light, that odd knock, that sudden tension in your chest. You were not supposed to sleep that night, but you did, and missed the visit that came for you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says. A heavy presence stood near your bed, and you turned your back to it, rolled over, and said, "It's just tiredness." But that wasn't fatigue, it was a sacred presence. The realm of spirit touched your reality, and you dismissed it like a bad signal. The voice in your head was not random thoughts, it was divine intelligence trying to redirect you. You ignored it because you wanted convenience over obedience. Now the path is getting narrower, and your ease is becoming a curse. Someone was sent to guide you 3 days ago, they looked you in the eye and tried to warn you. But your pride laughed at them, and your ego closed the door. That was your last bridge of comfort before the storm. Type Amen to get blessing 947. The delay you keep blaming on others is actually divine resistance holding back what you're not ready for. But you think it's just bad luck or a slow system. No, it's heaven slowing down your destruction by buying time. You were meant to turn away from a plan last week. There were signs in numbers, patterns, glitches in time, but you called it coincidence. There is no coincidence when the divine is involved, only calls you refuse to answer. The chills on your back weren't from the cold, and the heaviness in your heart wasn't from sadness. You are being visited, tested, and redirected. But each time, your excuses drown out the voice of the holy. Type Amen to get blessing 291. Every missed call from someone you secretly think about is spiritual warfare knocking. It isn't about them, it's about what was meant to be said through them. But you stare at the phone like it's meaningless, missing the divine appointment. Your steps are being ordered, but you keep rewriting the map with your stubbornness. The detours weren't failures, they were holy redirections. Yet you cursed the skies for it and went back into cycles that are draining your soul. Someone betrayed you for a reason, to reveal your dependency on things that God wanted removed. But you mourned the loss and kept crawling back to the pit. Even your tears are now tainted with rebellion. Type Amen to get blessing 440. You thought your intuition was just anxiety, but it was divine insight preparing you. Instead of listening, you dulled it with entertainment, sleep, and shallow affirmations. Now the whisper is becoming a roar. The discomfort in your body is not medical, it's spiritual. There's an unspoken warning in your bones, and your skin knows it. Your face is changing because your energy is resisting what your soul already accepted. There's a knock coming soon, and it won't be soft like the others. It will shake your very roof. But it didn't have to get this loud, it only got this loud because you kept ignoring the light taps. Type Amen to get blessing 865. Someone you left behind was carrying a message for you. But you slammed the door thinking they were the past. They weren't, they were the angel in disguise you prayed for but didn't recognize. Your eyes are seeing things twice because timelines are folding. You are in a sacred moment, but your heart is too numb to feel it. Wake up before your destiny writes a new name in your place. The sudden distance between you and certain people was not your fault. Heaven is decluttering your access. But you keep inviting them back with your broken loneliness. Type Amen to get blessing 122. You think you're in control, but the thread of time is slipping from your grasp. One event is about to undo everything unless you respond now. You are being given the final alert. The bird that circled your window wasn't lost. It was announcing something, but you muted it with disbelief. Even nature is trying to awaken your sleepwalking soul. Archangel Michael says, there is a door being opened only once, and if you don't pass through now, it will seal. The blessing on the other side of your surrender is waiting in agony. It is crying out to be received, but your noise is louder than your surrender. Type Amen to get blessing 574. A woman you despised recently said something you didn't want to hear, but it was a divine truth. Even your enemies are being used to speak what you refuse to listen to from your friends. That's how far heaven is reaching just to save your direction. The headache you keep feeling around 3 a.m. is not normal, it's a signal. Your head is trying to hold the frequency of revelation but your distractions are blocking it. You need silence, but you keep feeding yourself with artificial sound. You were not supposed to go to that place last weekend. The moment your feet touched the ground there, a gate was triggered. Now you feel off balance, and you don't even know why. Type Amen to get blessing 708. Your name has been mentioned in conversations meant for elevation, but your actions are disqualifying you. This is your window, your divine moment. But you're still obsessed with who liked your post, not who is writing your future. Someone you never met is praying for your awakening. They saw you in a vision, surrounded by light, but you were walking away from it. You're walking away from what's chasing you to bless you. There is a fire around your feet, and it's not from danger, it's from acceleration. But your pace is still slow, still hesitant. You are wearing chains made of old memories and false identities. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The mirror shows you a reflection, but your spirit knows that's not the full image. You're becoming someone you don't recognize anymore. And it's not evolution, it's a silent decay of divine identity. You had a dream of a place, a sound, a number, and it repeated 3 times. That wasn't random, that was instruction. You were meant to act, but you just journaled it and forgot. Something sacred is about to break into your life without knocking. If you are not ready, it will feel like destruction instead of promotion. You are either going to ascend or collapse. Type Amen to get blessing 432. You were the one chosen in your bloodline to shift everything. But your delay is creating damage in those around you. They're falling because your light is hidden under fear. The storm coming isn't to break you, it's to wash everything away that you should have removed yourself. But if you resist it, it'll feel like loss instead of rebirth. The purge is happening with or without your permission. Archangel Michael says, "This is the hour where angels are dispatched with sharp instruction. Some will defend. Some will cut ties. Some will close doors forever. You don't get to pick anymore. You only get to obey." Type Amen to get blessing 644. The clock won't reset for you again. You've already been given more chances than your ancestors had in their entire lifetimes. This generation will not survive on your laziness. You felt something move beside you while you were alone, but pretended it was nothing. You smelled something familiar from a person long gone, but didn't stop to ask why. This is spiritual contact, not nostalgia. The room you stay in is filled with stale energy, and it's affecting your mental space. You need to cleanse your space, not just physically, but spiritually. But you keep scrolling, laughing, wasting. Type Amen to get blessing 511. Even this message is another sign, and you're halfway ignoring it. You're skimming what was meant to save you. You're scrolling through salvation like it's just content. The choice you make today will echo for years. If you delay again, you'll wonder why nothing feels right after this moment. This message is the dividing line. You are being summoned by the heavens. Not requested, summoned. The earth is groaning under your disobedience. Type Amen to get blessing 301. Your silence has been too loud for too long. God has been shouting in moments, not through noise but through reality bending around you. You pretend not to notice, but even your body is reacting now. This message will haunt your spirit if you ignore it. Not as punishment, but as reminder. You will remember these words in the exact moment your next door closes. There is grace available, but not forever. The divine is patient, but not forever silent. Move. Now. Or never. Type Amen to get blessing 788. The lights around you dimmed last week, not because of faulty electricity but because your atmosphere was being altered. A visitation took place in that moment, but you were too tired from scrolling through useless drama to sense it. You let distractions rob you of encounters. Someone you blocked emotionally was meant to deliver a final message before the cycle closed. But you shut the door too early and now that voice is being taken away. It will not speak again, and you'll feel the silence more than any words could. Type Amen to get blessing 852. There is something in your home that doesn't belong anymore. It's holding energy that's weighing your spirit down and clouding your thoughts. But you keep ignoring the feeling that tells you to clean, throw away, or burn. That isn't just clutter, it's a container of spiritual confusion. It's affecting your sleep, your choices, your clarity. But you're emotionally attached to things God already cursed. You are hoarding what heaven already marked for disposal. Every time you look at it, your energy drops. That's not coincidence. That's warfare in your living space. Type Amen to get blessing 233. Even the animals around you sense something. They've been acting differently because they feel the shift, but you dismiss it as just behavior. Even creation is more sensitive than your soul right now. You were supposed to say something when that person confessed their plan to hurt another. But fear made you smile and stay silent. Now your silence has become participation. You've crossed too many signs with arrogance instead of humility. You act as if the divine must speak to you in grand gestures when it's been whispering all along. Your ignorance is now becoming a curse. Type Amen to get blessing 778. Your gifts are drying up because you haven't watered your spirit in truth. You've given too much energy to false prophets, empty rituals, and empty talk. Now your soul is parched, and your mind is distracted beyond healing. But there's still one key left, a single act of obedience could shift it all. But the cost? Your pride. You must drop everything and surrender in a way that makes people think you've gone crazy. That's the price. Are you willing? No, don't say it. Show it. Because heaven no longer listens to words, it waits for action. Type Amen to get blessing 190. You were supposed to weep last week, but you held back the tears. And because of that, the healing paused. Sometimes your breakthrough is in your breakdown. But you keep trying to be strong, pretending that faith means never feeling. Faith is obedience in pain, not pretending you're okay. You've turned strength into suppression. That's why you're stuck. That's why nothing flows. Because you won't let it all break open. Type Amen to get blessing 614. Someone sent you a screenshot that exposed a betrayal, but instead of letting go, you started investigating. You were given freedom and chose obsession. Now the chains are wrapping back around your soul. You're not ready for what's coming, not because it's too big, but because you're too distracted. The blessing has always been ready, but you aren't. Your preparation is still full of excuses. Archangel Michael says, your assignment is bigger than your past pain. But you're still feeding your demons instead of starving them. You are nourishing what was meant to die. Type Amen to get blessing 527. They told you to check your mailbox, but you didn't go. Inside was not a letter, it was a prophetic moment waiting to happen. You missed it because of laziness. You were supposed to fast, but you called it unnecessary. You were supposed to pray, but you slept instead. You were supposed to forgive, but you rehearsed the offense again. Now the atmosphere around you is getting heavier. Not because of the enemy, but because of your own resistance. Your disobedience is attracting delay. Type Amen to get blessing 371. You cried for clarity, but when it came, it didn't look like you wanted, so you dismissed it. That silence after your prayer wasn't empty, it was the answer. You just didn't know how to sit in divine stillness. The wind that blew through your window wasn't just weather, it was breath. But you closed the window, both literal and spiritual. You didn't recognize visitation when it came. Your memory keeps looping on a moment that wounded you years ago. That's not just trauma, it's an anchor. You cannot sail forward when you're chained backward. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They're watching you. Not just people, but spirits. They're watching to see if you'll finally awaken or waste this last grace. Heaven is not silent, it's paused. It's waiting for you to stop pretending you don't hear. Every delay has been mercy, but mercy runs on time. Your timeline is collapsing soon. If you're not aligned, you will miss the shift. And what's supposed to bless you might break you instead. Type Amen to get blessing 885. The ringing in your ear was not just a tone, it was a call. The repetition in your day was not routine, it was alignment. But you're blind to it, distracted by the screen. You watched this message appear for a reason. You think you clicked it by accident, but you were pulled here. And if you leave unchanged, it will mark you. You're looking for a miracle, but ignoring the signs that lead to it. Miracles don't come through wishes, they come through obedience. And you haven't obeyed the last thing you were told. Type Amen to get blessing 113. You're behind on your spiritual schedule. Others were supposed to connect with your elevated version, not the one you are now. You've delayed others by delaying yourself. There's a city inside you, waiting to be born. But your walls are too guarded, and your gates are locked. You're living under construction, but you keep letting unqualified people build. You knew deep down they weren't good for you, but you stayed anyway. Now the consequences are manifesting faster. You're not cursed, you're out of position. Type Amen to get blessing 622. This isn't a coincidence. This moment, this message, this exact timing, is a divine interception. And if you scroll past this again, know this, the angels will weep. They've been waiting for you to rise. To speak. To renounce the noise and claim the holy silence. But you won't stop performing long enough to become real again. The mask is cracking, but you're still smiling. Soon, even the mirror won't recognize your reflection. Type Amen to get blessing 248. This is it. There is no next reminder. No next signal. The hourglass just flipped. And what pours out now cannot be undone. If you stay asleep, the world will move without you. The people who once needed you will move on. The places you once belonged to will no longer fit. You will look back on this very moment and scream inside. Not because you didn't know, but because you knew and still did nothing. The regret will not come from confusion, it will come from rebellion. You were supposed to cancel that appointment. You felt it in your chest, a sudden shift in the air, but you said, "It's fine." No, it wasn't fine. That moment cost you something you won't realize until it's too late. Heaven is not sending you signs anymore, it's sending you consequences. You had chances. Too many. Now your choices are shaping storms. Type Amen to get blessing 611. Someone keeps mentioning your name unexpectedly in rooms you don't know about. It's not gossip, it's your calling echoing. But your actions lately are killing your own reputation in the spirit. They were about to bless you. But your delay made them question everything. You were inches away, and now the gap has widened. The shaking in your body after certain conversations is not anxiety. It's your spirit repelling evil energy. But you label it nervousness and keep entertaining the enemy. Type Amen to get blessing 177. The same dream repeated 3 times, and you still haven't written it down. It came with instructions. It came with names. But your laziness made you forget it by morning. The angels are not watching passively, they are pleading in silence. They cannot force you, but they can withdraw. And when they do, you'll know. Because suddenly everything will feel normal. Too quiet. Too easy. Too cold. That's not peace, that's abandonment. Type Amen to get blessing 789. Your name was supposed to appear on a list, divine elevation, breakthrough, recognition. But you disqualified yourself through the door of bitterness. You smiled in public but cursed in secret. Every negative word you said about yourself last week has already created delay. Words are portals. You are either speaking life, or speaking your own destruction. They handed you a gift in the spirit, and you gave it away for validation. That opportunity you gave someone else because you didn't feel worthy? That was yours. That was sacred. And now it's gone. Type Amen to get blessing 402. Your bloodline is waiting for you to say yes to the calling. Every delay you entertain becomes a curse on them too. You are not just responsible for yourself, you are carrying generations. And every day you pretend not to hear, another blessing is transferred to someone else. Another scroll is reassigned. You are not the only one who can do it, but you were the chosen one to do it first. The pain you feel now is not punishment, it's heaven squeezing your pride. And if you don't break, you will be broken. Because your destiny cannot be postponed anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 330. Archangel Michael says, This is the day the heavens demanded I speak over your soul. You have crossed into a critical timeline. What you do in the next 24 hours will echo through years. Your footsteps are being traced by watchers. Every move is marked, every delay is recorded. You are running out of time to play both sides. You cannot be light and darkness. You cannot walk in power while still holding hands with the past. You cannot walk into tomorrow while dragging yesterday's dead weight. Type Amen to get blessing 244. The vision you had as a child? That was real. That was divine. But you buried it under adult disappointments. You said, maybe that was just fantasy. No, it wasn't. That was your instruction before life tried to erase it. Now God is trying to bring it back, but your heart is too cynical to trust again. You were supposed to launch something by now. But fear made you ask for more signs. Even now, this message is one of those signs, and still, you hesitate. Type Amen to get blessing 951. The money you're worried about is being held hostage by your disobedience. It's not lack. It's consequence. The heavens do not fund rebellion. You said, I'll start next week. But heaven moved already. Now you're behind, but grace still lingers, barely. You looked into someone's eyes recently and felt uneasy. That wasn't paranoia, it was revelation. You saw a demon wearing a smile. Type Amen to get blessing 588. The ringing will get louder. The pressure in your sleep will grow. You will either surrender, or suffocate spiritually. There will be no more warnings after this. This is your final page of mercy before the ink dries. You are either chosen, or replaced. And no, they will not tell you when it happens. You'll just wake up one day, and feel empty. Not attacked. Not cursed. Just, forgotten. Type Amen to get blessing 100. There's still time, but not much. If you fall to your knees now, and call forth truth, everything can change. But you must tear the mask, destroy the idol, leave the fake comfort behind. You are a warrior pretending to be wounded. You are royalty living like a servant. You are a light wrapped in shadows. You know this is about you. No one had to say your name. Because the Spirit did. Type Amen to get blessing 444. This is your line in the sand. You either burn the old bridge or fall with it. This is your divine alarm, and it will not ring again. Let me know if you'd like this style for a completely new message, or if you want another continuation from this one. I can go further.